It's Sunday afternoon and it's time to reset. So if this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell because we upload every Monday and Thursday. And let's reset for the week. I am genuinely trying to hype myself up with that little dance because the kitchen is a mess. It's only been 24 hours, yet we're here again. The boys are currently sleeping, which means I am trying to put away this load of dishes as quiet as possible, but I really feel like this is probably the beginning of the end for their sleep. But because of the mess of the kitchen, it is definitely going to be a 2-load day. So the faster I can get this load out and put away, the faster I can get the first load on. Now that the girls are in primary school, I think they're getting a little too old for the IKEA plastic cutlery because we used all of our teaspoons in the last 24 hours. So thankfully restocked and ready to go. Part of my Sunday routine is making English muffins for the kids' sandwich bread, so I'm going to preheat my cast irons and get to that later. Looking back on this footage, I probably should have got my step stool because I could not see this second shelf at all. I just had enough of our cups being disorganized, and I was looking at the shelves and we have put sticky tape to label the shelves and they just weren't matching the cups. So I thought today's the day we are going to put a bit of order back into this cupboard. But now I can see that I had coffee cups hiding behind that Mickey Mouse cup. This is part of the cleaning process where I'm finally feeling like I'm making a difference, and that is packing my first load of dishes away. I always do cutlery first. I find that it just helps me get my brain a little bit more organized. But comment below, what's your process when packing your dishwasher? These IKEA bowls honestly are my enemy. I can never get them to stack properly, and it's strange to think that in 3 to 4 years we are not even going to be needing them anymore, which is both exciting and sad. But recently we went up to the coast and we picked up some bamboo cups, and they are such good quality, and I wish that it could be more affordable to do bamboo rather than the IKEA plastic, but with 4 kids we just couldn't do it. But thankfully this first load is done, the dishwashing tablet is going in, and I'm setting it, and the most important part is child lock. I am all about making life easier, and I find taking the rubbish bin out of the cupboard and doing a sweep of all the rubbish that's lying around, any junk, scraps, just whatever, is going to go straight into the bin. And then while I was doing that, I noticed I had lots of recycling that needed to go out to the recycling bin. So I'm just going to do a load, get a clean slate, and then continue cleaning the kitchen. On my way back, I found one of the kids' lunchboxes from Friday that hadn't been unpacked. So I've brought it back into the kitchen. I will get the ice bricks out, empty all the lunchboxes out, and just hopefully nothing has grown an experiment in the time period. Ever since doing my pantry reorganization, I love packing away all of my appliances and just things lying about the kitchen because everything now has a home and it's organized and it's visually easy to tell where things belong. So if you haven't watched that video, I will leave a link in the description box below. But thankfully, there was nothing nasty in this lunchbox. It really was as simple as getting a yogurt pouch out and putting the ice bricks away. I'm really looking forward to the day where half of the dinner doesn't end up on the floor, and I guess I have a little bit of hope because with the older girls being in primary school, I can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But the boys, if they're in a mood, oh, food just flies. I'm now going to get ready for my English muffins. This is a recipe from Farmhouse on Boone, and I have thoroughly enjoyed making it. It was probably one of the first sourdough recipes that I actually felt confident in, but I now know with hindsight that high hydration dough needs to have wet hands. So you'll see me doing that, and then I'm getting ready for my sourdough. Now that the cast irons have heated up, I'm going to put a bit of canola oil in, wet my hands, and I'm going to portion out the English muffins so they will fit into the girls' lunch boxes. And I'm going to make as many as I can because I put the spreads on them and freeze them so that lunchbox making is a bit easier in the mornings. And here's me doing my first stretch and fold for the sourdough. I am shocking at remembering to do these stretch and folds. I need to do them every half an hour. So it's kind of roughly every 20 minutes to half an hour, and it's just to help the bread get structure so that when I go to bake it tomorrow, it's going to be beautiful. But the next step is getting all of my dinners cut out. I have a subscription to 5 dinners 1 hour. It has been life-saving. But once I finish cutting this out, I have realized that all my sandwich bread is ready to go. So I'm going to cut and prepare with spreads all of the kids' sandwiches. I have found that this is the only way I can survive. Keeping my head above water for the whole week is just to prepare things in advance, whether that be dinner or sandwiches. I just am running out of time in the hours of the day, and so this is how I'm doing it. So this sandwich bag is going to have Vegemite and cheese. I find just having one bag to be super great at storing in the freezer. It doesn't take up a lot of space then. Then I'm going to move on now to nut-free butter because we're not allowed peanuts at school, and then nut-free butter with jam. It's always interesting when you go back and reflect on things, because when Amira first started school, I obviously was using sandwich bread and I was cutting crust off because the kids just don't like eating crust for some reason. But when I make these English muffins, pretty much the outside is crust, and yet they never complain about it. We have found since switching to sourdough, it is just working for everybody. All the kids and us adults enjoy eating it, and it's also saving us a lot of money because I'm not having to buy at least 2 sandwich loaves a week. I can just make it so it fits customized into their lunchbox. It's a good size for them to have. It's not a massive sandwich, but I just do this collection of spreads, and then throughout the week I will rotate through my options in the freezer, and that way it kind of keeps it a bit fresh for them too. It was at this moment while I was doing my stretch and fold that I realized I hadn't turned my cast irons off. So yeah, thankfully nothing bad happened. It just cooked the remaining of the canola oil off the base of the pan. But that will be my final stretch and fold for this loaf. And I'm going to grab a wet cloth, put it on top, and then keep it to the side for it to do its bulk rise. But now dinner is on its way. This load has finished. For some reason, the things that had sourdough on just didn't wash properly, which sometimes that happens in my dishwasher. But I'm going to let it air dry. The kids are telling me they're hungry. This has currently been 2 hours since I started doing this, so it's a lot of work that goes into my evening prep, and it is only about halfway done. But after dinner, I have started to unpack the dishwasher, and I have collected all of the dishes that we have used to make dinner and serve dinner. That way, when I put my second load on for tonight, that it is going to be my last final load, and the kitchen should hopefully look clean, be ready for the week, and help me to have a fresh start. I am definitely feeling exhausted. I'm going to make myself an iced coffee because I still need to do my dinner prep, and that is something that is a non-negotiable in my Sunday evening routine, because if I don't dinner prep on a Sunday night, I find it extremely hard to get dinner on the table after I have done a full day worth of work. And on some of our days, Mick and I are passing ships because of taking kids to extracurricular activities. So this is now 9:30 at night, and we are getting ready to do our meal prepping together. So Mick's just helping me with all the things that need to get hand washed. I'm getting out the proteins for each of the dinners, and then we are going to work on it together and smash it out to hopefully go to bed at a decent time. I was really disappointed in this week's salmon. It had bones in 3 out of the 4 fillets, but thankfully they weren't too hard to get out, and this dinner was then all prepped. I found 5 dinners 1 hour on TikTok and was blown away at this concept that you could spend 1 hour on a Sunday night and prep all of your dinners for the week. I didn't think that it could possibly work being in Australia and not having all of the ingredients because it's an American program. But we have been using it for a couple of months now and are really enjoying it. The kids like the dinners, we are enjoying the dinners. We have the subscription that does both clean eating and their normal one, which I guess has, carbohydrates and all those other things. And we find having the mixture of the two of them really good in getting a well-balanced diet. It's definitely opened us up to new flavors that weren't originally in our repertoire of things to do. And thankfully, because we do our groceries via click and collect, we are able to freeze some meals if the proteins were close to expiry date. It is friendly like that as well. But it just means that at the end of the day, I am having recipes that I can either just chuck into the oven straight away or put into the slow cooker at the beginning of the day, and it just alleviates the stress of getting home at 5 and still having to think about what is for dinner. But I am now doing my final shaping for the sourdough bread, and then it's going to go into the fridge so I can cook it tomorrow. But now all the dinners are prepped. I'm going to store them away for the week and look at how beautiful that looks. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you've liked our Sunday evening routine. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell. And here's some videos that I thought you might like to watch.